Welcome to today's session, which is about how to model a divided roadway using Civil 3D. This video is in response to a poll we ran on our previous video. Today's video will focus on how we can design our corridor to effectively model this median situation here. As you can see that we have a median that starts here, a raised median. On our road, we had a painted median just before that. Now we have a raised median that we have on our road, and it runs all the way up till this intersection here. And you can see here we start to have our 10 lanes and all that. So we will model this up to the beginning, up to the end of the median, just before the intersection. My name is Lois Sotoi. I'm a civil engineer at Tabesa Consulting. This channel is for you, and the topics we cover come directly from questions we get on a daily basis. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel. We also welcome your comments on this video. If there are other topics you would like us to cover, please get in touch by leaving a comment or going onto our website. If you'd like to have a one-on-one follow-up with us regarding the topics that we cover during these sessions, please email me. I will get back to you. And as I said, you can also go onto our website and leave us a message. With that said, let's dive in. In today's video, we'll start on our corridor model. We're going to build this first piece here, and we're going to do it in two halves. We will start on the right-hand side, and then we will then extend it to the left-hand side. I have alignments created on both the left and the right side on all our medians. We have profiles that are dynamic. So as the centerline profile adjusts up and down, it's going to change the corridor. The corridors are going to get updated, and the surface is going to get updated, and then the profiles. We will use this alignment and these profiles as targets in our work. The work that has been done in arriving at this has been documented in a step-by-step process, and you will see at the end of the video how this can be accessed. We have started creating an assembly for the right-hand side half of the divided road, and will now use it to model that assembly is going to be swept along this alignment on the right-hand side. So from the contextual ribbon, we want to launch the corridor command, and we will name this corridor main road final design. So the alignment that we're going to pick is this alignment, main road section 1 on the right, and it already selected the profile, the associated profile. The assembly we're going to use is going to be this assembly, the main road divided traffic separator. And the surface that we're going to target the existing ground. We will leave the baseline and regional parameters selected so that we can access the dialog box. Here we will just then click OK. Okay, let's say here I just want to adjust the frequencies. Just want to bring this down to about 10 meters. Just want to make sure that we are able to get a more accurate surface here. Okay, this one. Okay, so I just want to adjust the end of that. Um, let's see. I want to bring it, say, to about here just before the start of the bullnose. And apply. And we will then rebuild the corridor. Say okay. Just close that. So here's our corridor. we can now see that what we need to do is to sort out the targeting of the lanes so that everything ties up nicely. So what we now want to do is to adjust our targets so that this corridor of ours aligns perfectly with the design road widths that we want. So we will then select the corridor and then under region properties, we then come onto the targets. So we can see that we have selected our surface. So what we will now need to do is to adjust this lane width target for the right hand side. And what we will use here is we're just gonna scroll down here. We're gonna use this alignment and we add it. Say OK. And then for the median edge, we want to use this polyline. We will select it from the drawing. We want to use that polyline. And it's already selected. And then for the width target of lane number 2, we will select an alignment, which is, we will select this alignment. We'll add it. Okay, and then for the shoulder, we will select the shoulder on the right hand side. We add that. Say OK. Okay, now it's rebuilding it. Now we can see that our corridor is now aligning quite nicely with our lanes. So this kind of sorts out the right hand side of the road. So what we now need to do is let's have a look at this on section editor. Now we can see that yes, our corridor seems to be modeling nicely. Yes, it's working quite nicely. And it's beginning to move away from the center as we get the median. So what we're now gonna do, we're gonna put in a curb right in here just to mark the median. Okay, so we will just further do developments on our assembly. Okay, so we can close this. We're now gonna do further development on our assembly by putting in a curb on the side of the lane at the start of the median. So if we come on our tool palettes, we come here and we put in a curb. We'll leave it as that urban curb cutter general. Okay. Okay, that is perfect. If we go onto this curb under properties, we just want to change the slope of that. We're happy with everything. So yes, so we will now need to rebuild our corridor. So if I come to the tool space, go to that corridor. Here's our corridor. If we rebuild it, it has rebuilt. And if I select it and I go to the section editor, we should now be able to see our curve. And yes, there's our curve. It sits nicely. Let's see as we progress. There's our curve. It's beginning to move away now from the center line. So what we now need to do is to generate the left hand side roadway. and the median. So again, this will involve further development of our assembly to incorporate the left-hand side portion. If we now go to Object Viewer, we select the corridor and we go to Object Viewer and let's just select that and bring this down. We just want to see this right-hand side travel way that we have designed. Yes, there we can see we've got our lane 1, there's our cap, we've got our lane 1, that's our lane 2, that's our shoulder, and then that's our sidewalk, and then we start to have a stormwater ditch there. So I think this right-hand side lane travelway is modeling quite nicely. So what we need to now do is to build this right-hand side lanes. Okay, I think we can now get out of that. What we now need to do is to connect from our insertion marker on our right-hand side travelway, and then we need to go find an entity at a distant and vertical target. For this, we will use our left-hand side alignment and profile. For this, let's find the generic, and then we will use the link slope. We're going to use link width and slope. This is the one we're going to use. Okay, we select our marker. We're going to put, okay, we accept that. That's our marker. So if we click on the properties of this, we can see that it's coming to the left. We've made it a width of 3 meters. Let's just increase this and make it 5 meters just for, and we will change its name and we'll make it median align left. Now what we need to do is to just mirror all that we have built on the right hand side so that it now can come over to our left hand side. So we will select all these. We'll select them and we will select all of these and then we will mirror about our link. So we will just need to rename this. That's to the left hand side. Keep that. Okay. So now we have our right hand side. So what we now want to do, let's put we're just gonna put a cap here. We go to that cap. I just want to make this right. Okay, and then change its slope. Okay. Now we can rebuild this corridor. Okay. Let's go have a look and see what we now have. We see that our corridor has rebuilt, but again, we need to just adjust our targets. If I click on the corridor and I go on the targets. Okay, so the right hand side is okay. What we need to do is to sort out the left hand side. So what we're going to do here is to pick the alignment. We're going to pick this alignment because that's what we are targeting. And we add that. Okay, so here we're going to pick this hand side lane, this left hand side lane. And then on the median, we want to pick this feature line. Pick it from the drawing. We want to pick this feature line, this polyline. Okay. Now the width target. Okay, here we're picking an alignment. Let's say the width target, we're picking an alignment. We're going to pick that alignment and we add it. And then for the shoulder, we want to pick this left hand side shoulder. Okay, let's see if it's generating nicely. Yes, it's generating nicely. Again, if we go to the section editor, we can see that the corridor is modeling quite nicely. You can see the left-hand side travelway, and you can see the median is beginning to open up following those the left and the right-hand side alignments. Yeah, it's modeling perfectly, and you can see that the elevations on both sides are independent of each other. And that's because we've assigned all the correct targeting. Okay, so we can close that. If we look at this in Object Viewer, uh, just bring it down. We can see our lanes, we can see our ditches, stormwater ditches on the side. So this is our left-hand side lanes are modeling nicely, and that's our sidewalk, and there's our stormwater ditch on the side. And we can see the median beginning to open up as we progress along the road. I think that's looking good. We now need to connect these cabs. And what we're going to do, we will place a mark point at the back of this cab. So if we come here and we go to generic, put a mark point, put it on there. And we're gonna call this mark point median. Okay. Then what we want to do now is to come and do a link to mark point. We'll do a link to mark point, and we will select that point, and we'll leave it as that. Okay. And if we go to the properties of this, we want to tell the mark point that it must connect to is a mark point called median. Let's have a look at our, see we've lost our tool space. So open that. See now this needs to be rebuilt. So we rebuild it. Let's have a look. When we come to the section editor, we now begin to see that our back of cabs are now connected. There's that connector line. And as we keep changing the stations, okay, let me just do this now. Click that. Okay. So we can see that our back of cabs are connected with that. Okay, that is looking good. We now want to connect this space between the cabs with a median. So for that, we're gonna come here and then we can use this raised constant slope, or we use the median raised with a crown. But I think in this case, we're just gonna use that. And we're gonna insert it there. We will leave it with that name. If we come to the properties of that, you can see that it's not targeting any mark point, and we want it to target the median. Let's see, yes, it's still targeting the median. Okay, we're gonna now need to just rebuild the corridor. Okay, let's go have a look. Again, if we go to section editor, we can see now that there's that pavement that is connecting the cabs. This that's the top of it. That's the top of it, and that's the bottom of it. Okay, and this is running through all the stations. Just okay. Running through the stations. Okay, we close that. Again, we want to just have a look at this in the object viewer. Now you can begin to see that the space in between the cabs is now filled, and you can see it nicely here in cross section that we've got some bit of layer works that connects the space between the cabs. think it's looking great. As I say, we could have chosen to use the one with the crown, but I think this will suffice. Okay, let's get out of this. For the area after the intersection, we have done more work in this area, and this has been captured in a step-by-step process, which can be accessed through the tool palettes. These are the processes that we use. And these processes, they also reside in a folder structure. They reside in this folder structure. And if we dig deeper, they are all sitting in here. So when they sit in this folder structure, for example, this one would be the alignment creation workflow. But again, when we need to access them through the tool palettes, it's just a matter of clicking that, and then a PDF document will appear, which will take you through all the processes that we do. This will take you through all the processes that we follow when we're creating surfaces or when we're creating alignments. So on for the alignments. These will be the processes. So this then assists us to streamline all our designs and enable a situation where people can work from home and we can use freelancing stuff. This we do in order to ensure that there is uniformity in our design processes. If you would like us to assist you and your organization in setting up these systems, please reach out to us via our website. We also have included in the description of this video details of a previous video in which we explain the development of these design workflows. We now need to create a surface for the corridor we prepared. We'll then select this corridor and from the contextual ribbon under corridor properties, we will we'll click under corridor properties, and under surfaces we'll create a new surface which we will rename as traffic. Okay, so let's pick up that and we add, and then we will add all the points that are coded with top, and we'll add them as breaklines. And also when it comes to the boundaries, we want to pick a polygon. We want to select this polygon. Also just on the surface, we want to pick triangles. We'll pick this style. Okay. Rebuild the corridor. Okay. So now if we go to Object Viewer to have a look at the surface, I just want to zoom in. So this is the surface that we now have created of our corridor. Okay, close that. When we now take a look at our surface in Object Viewer, we can now see that our surface is looking pretty nice. This is the surface of the corridor that we created earlier. Yeah, and it's showing up quite nicely. Let's show a different style. Let's look at conceptual. It's looking good. We look at maybe the 3D wireframe. Yes, I think the corridor is looking good. Okay. We now need to model the bullnoses at the end of the medians. For this, we will start by creating alignments that represent the edges of the bullnoses. We are going to open the alignment menu and we create alignments from objects. We're happy with that. So we will call this alignment bullnose 1. We're happy with that. Go. So we're now going to create the second alignment. Create alignment from objects. Happy with the direction. This will call bullnose number 2. We now want to create surface profiles for this, but what we'll do, we will start by first labeling the spot elevations on the surfaces. We want to label the spot surface there, and right at the end we want to label this one. Okay, also we'll just move this out of the way. Okay, now we're gonna do this one. We first select the surface, we add labels, spot, click on this one. Okay. Just move this to there. Move this to here. Now we want to draw surface profiles of these alignments. So we pick on the alignment and we say surface profile. That's the alignment. We'll add the existing ground. We draw in profile view. In here, let's see if we want to put, happy with that. Profile view style, we want to do the full grid. We'll create that and we'll place that there. Having done that, we want to come to profile creation tools. Here I think we want to use the alignment. Okay, we're happy with that. Okay, we're happy with that. Okay, so now if we just want to change the points here, and here it's going to be 5.8. And this one will be 5.5. Okay, done. We now want to draw the alignment for profile for this alignment. Create a surface profile, column 2, add over the full grid. We have here I'm gonna put it right there. Okay, so if we select, okay, here we want to put, okay, through that. Okay, this point, what will our levels be? Okay, it's gonna be 8.2 and 8.7. 8.2. Okay, happy with that. Okay, we now need to create an assembly that we will use to create a corridor around the Bullnoses. So we create an assembly which we call Bullnose. We'll put it as an antivirus crown road. This will put right there. You'll come into here. We'll put a cap. Come to the properties of this. We want to change the side of this to the right. We're happy with that. Okay. We now want to create a corridor using this, but let me just annotate this. We'll put objects. Okay, we're happy with that. Okay, so we go to the corridor. We want to now generate a corridor here using that that assembly. Create a corridor which we will name. We'll name this corridor weaving area. We'll pick an alignment. Pick this alignment. That's the profile that's going to go with it. And create an assembly. We use this assembly. We use this assembly. Okay, we're not targeting any surface. Okay, again, we want to come here and set the frequencies. I'll set the frequencies to 0.2 because it's actually going to be quite a tight curve there. Say apply. We'll rebuild the corridor. Okay, let me check this corridor. We'll come to the view. It's looking good. Yeah, it's looking outwards. Happy with that. Let me do a conceptual view. Maybe try a wireframe. I think the wireframe is much better. Wireframe is much better. That is our Bullnose. Okay, we exit out of that. We want to go back to the same corridor and we say corridor properties. Say parameter, we want to add a baseline. Now we want to select the baseline. Let's go here, we'll use corridor name. We'll use the horizontal baseline. And let's go back. Let's select the baseline. The baseline will be this Bullnose. And in here, we'll use the horizontal baseline. So we're happy with that. Now the vertical profile here will be that of Bullnose 2. We're happy with that. The assembly is still the same assembly. Again, we want to adjust the frequency here. We'll make again 0.2. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, we just want to go back to corridor properties. I think these frequencies need to change. It will make it a little bit tighter there. Repeat corridor. Oh yes, it's looking good. Okay, let's look at this in Object Viewer. Now we can see our two Bullnoses. They are looking good. Okay, I just want to make sure here, I think that this one is also modeling correctly. It's facing the right direction. Oh yes, facing the right direction. So if I start to rotate it like that, it's looking good. We now want to use this geometry to create targets that will be necessary to link the left and the right lanes. We're gonna select the corridor and then we will just isolate. Okay, so let's just view this through there and come in. So this is the Bullnose number 1. This is Bullnose number 2. Maybe let's just do it there. Then probably they'll look better. Okay. We then would like to create some feature line targets, and I want to use the edge of the pavement around here and as a to create a feature line from it. So we're now gonna go to create feature line from corridor, and we'll select the corridor. We now need to create some feature line targets that represent the edge of pavement in this area, and we want one that represents the edge of pavement. So we're gonna come here, create weaving area. Okay, so we want all regions, and then we take off the back of cap, we leave the flange only. That's what we want. Then under settings, we do not want to apply any smoothing. We do not apply any smoothing, and also we do not want any dynamic link to the corridor. And in the naming, we will let's see, we want to put the corridor name. We want to put the corridor name, and now we're okay, and then we can extract. We now want to select these feature lines. Selecting that feature line and the feature line on the side. And we will isolate these objects. Now, if we have a look at them, these are the feature lines that we have just extracted. We now would like to link these two feature lines with another feature line. So if we go back to the top view, So we're now gonna create this new feature line. Create new feature line. We're gonna call this feature line link. Yes, we'll leave that, and we will I want to choose the midpoint from there, and we'll then bring it to the midpoint of this, and I'll accept that elevation, and I come to the midpoint of this one. I'll accept that grade. Say escape. This will be our target geometry for the lanes in this weaving area. We now want to break these feature lines. So I want to select this feature line, and I come to break. The first point for the break will be at the end point of this line, and the second point will be the second point. And the second point will be that. So now we can see that this feature line is broken into two. There's a part and there's a part. Okay, let's come and break this one as well. We break this feature line. We say first point is gonna be at that point, and then the second point is there. So now this one is also in two parts. We now need to name these feature line portions. If we look at this and let's look at feature line properties. It hasn't got a name. Okay, we're gonna look at the other one. See that, say feature line properties. We see that it's got a, in fact, I wanna call this one, okay, I'll leave it as, I wanna call it left hand side. And I want to copy this, copy, okay, I'll come to this one, feature line properties, see it hasn't got a name, we'll paste that, we'll call that right hand side, say okay, we're going to do the same thing here, feature line properties, and let's give it a name, it will derive its name from here, feature line properties, on number 4, and say copy, we'll check this one, feature line properties, and we'll give it a name, make that left hand side. Set okay. Again, I just want to put this into 3D just to see the geometry, and yes, we can see that it's looking nice. Okay. We are going to complete our overall corridor model by finishing this corridor in the weaving area. We'll start by creating an assembly that we're going to use for this area. So what we'll do, we'll copy this assembly, and we'll say copy, and just so that we don't have to be scrolling throughout the drawing, we'll just bring it close here, and then we can exit that. We now want to rename this assembly. We will call it weaving zone. We do not need these 2 lanes anymore, and we will swap them with the lane superelevation lanes. So we will select the assembly, we come to the tool palettes, we click here, and then we say R for replace. Says select subassembly to replace. We're replacing that subassembly, we're replacing it with that, and then we say, and then we repeat the process again, select that, we say replace, and then we pick that, then we exit. We now select both these 2 new lanes, and then we come onto the properties, and we just want to change some of their properties here. I think our pavement depth here was 0.02. adjust that. One was 15.3. That's okay. So now they both are matching up. Since there's no median in the weaving area, we don't need this link to mark point or the mark point. So we will select both of them and then we will remove them. We go to the assembly properties under construction. So our mark point was that, we will delete that. Yes, and then the link to mark point was that, we will delete that. Okay. We actually don't need that as well. We'll take it out as well. This median raise constant slope, we do not need it there. We'll remove it. Okay, I think everything is all right now. Okay, we said we do not need that. Now we'll leave that. We need that. We now want to build the corridor in the weaving area using this assembly. So we're gonna click on this corridor and then we go to the corridor and we go to corridor properties. And we're just going to add another baseline. And we will add this feature line. We want to add this feature line. We want to add number 3 right hand side. Say OK. And this baseline is defined by horizontal and vertical parameters. So we want to come and choose here. The vertical is already chosen, will be that. And then we want to then add a region. We want to come here and we want to add a region. And the assembly we will use here in this region is a weaving zone. And the region name, okay, let's choose something here. Assembly name, I want to, assembly name, okay. Say okay. We now want to build the corridor in the weaving area using this assembly. We are going to click on this corridor and then we will add a new baseline and we will select this feature line and we accept that. Now we'll click on the feature line. So let's just set. Okay, we'll click on the feature line. We'll add a region and we'll change our assembly. We'll change our assembly there. So we also just want to adjust our starting point. We'll make our starting point be there. and our endpoint that will be our endpoint. Okay, and then we rebuild the corridor. We now want to have a look at the corridor. That's our corridor. Just want to update this, bring it more closer here. Bring it there. Okay, I'm happy with that one. We now want to have a look at this new corridor in Object View, and if we look at it here, just bring it down. We begin to see that our corridor is beginning to model nicely, but what we just need to do now is some targeting so that we are able to see, to tie the lanes up nicely. Beginning to look nicely, our corridor, and here's the bullnoses. We need to bring these lanes to come closer. Okay, we can get out of this. We now want to select our corridor. Want to select our corridor, and then we come to the region properties. Pick this region. We're gonna do the targeting. Okay, we're gonna start on the right hand side. We want to pick an alignment, and the alignment on the right hand side is that one. We add it. Okay, for lane number 2, we're gonna pick this alignment plus that alignment, and we add, but we also want to pick this feature line. We want to pick that feature line. We say okay. For the right hand side shoulder, we'll pick an alignment. We'll pick 2 alignments on the right hand side. Where are they? Right shoulder is this alignment and that alignment, and we add them. Say okay. I just want to finish with the right hand side. Let me see if there's any target profile on the right hand side. For the right hand side lane, we're picking up. No, we don't want to pick up anything here. Okay, let's go back to the targets. I want to do the left hand side. This link with the slope is going to target this feature line. We'll select it from drawing. It's going to target this feature line. Okay, that is also going to target this feature line. Okay, the left hand side lane is going to target alignments. Okay, it's going to target alignments. It's gonna, the left hand side lane is okay. Wait, I think this one is good. It's not for lane 2. Let's do this one. This one for lane 1 is, let's remove that. This one for lane 1 must be targeting this alignment. Okay, and okay, and then the width will be targeting 2 alignments. That alignment plus that alignment. We add. Okay, that shoulder is gonna target this alignment and that alignment, and we add. Okay, also this must also target a feature line selected from drawing. I'm gonna target this feature line. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, there we are. There's a model for that zone there. So again, I just want to look at it in object viewer. It's looking all right. Okay, I think what I need to do now is just to remove these caps. I don't need these caps. See those 2 caps there? I just need to get rid of them. Close that. If we come to our assembly, we're going to click that, come to the tool palettes, and replace this one. Okay, and then I want to come here. I want to replace this one with that. Okay, so now I want to select these 2 and then come onto the properties. I just want to change the width. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay, now let's come to our corridor. We'll rebuild it. Okay, now we're going to have a look at our corridor. Object viewer. I think our corridor is now looking nice. You will not find the cabs there. There's it. The cabs have been removed, and that's our corridor in that weaving area. These are the bullnoses. Traffic will be weaving in this area. Okay, now we can get out of this. We now can create a surface for this corridor. And for this, we're just gonna take this shortcut and add a new surface, which we will call weaving area. Use top, and the style we'll use triangles, 0.5 millimeter, and we will then add that. We'll use our links as break lines, and our boundary we will use corridor extents. We'll rebuild the corridor. Okay, so that's our. So now we have got all these surfaces. We're now going to paste them into one combined surface, composite surface, um, for the new design of the road. Okay, let's do that. So we're first gonna come onto tool space and we create a new surface, and this surface we'll call main road composite, and the style we will again go to the triangles. I will leave that render material. Okay, so now in that, let's go back to this is the composite under definitions. We want to come to edits, and we want to paste some surfaces. So what we're going to do, we're going to paste that surface. We're going to leave this one out and paste these three. Okay, so now, okay, that should be our uniform surface. Let's have a look at it in object viewer. I think I need to change this one. Change the style here. I need to just change the style on this one. Let's see if I can do that. So we have now successfully pasted our surfaces into a single surface. So if we click onto the surface and we have a look at it in object viewer, we can see our composite surface, which is now looking together. I do notice that there are gaps in these areas in my model, in my surface. But what I will do, I will edit this and I will fill up these gaps, but I'm not going to do that in this video. But I will show you a picture of it when it's completed at the end of the video. And again, the step-by-step process that I will take in closing up these gaps, I have prepared a step-by-step instruction of how to do that. Again, those are available through our workflows, which I had showed to you where they are positioned in our directory list. After editing the gaps in our surfaces, we've come up now with this composite surface, which say if we want to have a look at it in object viewer, that's what it will look like. Let me just change the style here and go with the shade of gray. Okay, let's do that. Okay, if we show it here now, this is what it looks like. So all the gaps have been closed and it's now looking like a proper intersection. So as you can see here, you have got that turning lane. You had one lane here, and suddenly now you've got 3 lanes in this area to accommodate the turning lane. And the same kind of thing is happening from the other side to accommodate the turning lane that way. So yes, I think we've managed to model that nicely. We hope this has been useful for you and will help you to guide you how to model this dual carriageway roads. And again, if you have any questions that you would like to pose to us, please reach out by emailing us, or you can put your or you can reach us through our website. We have put in our details. So thank you very much for watching this video.